Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of hell. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UENradio.com.
Uh-oh.
Plus This. Hi, welcome back to Plus This. I'm Kathy Deach.
And I am
Welcome to
Eva
Michael.
Tingley.
Excellent.
And guys, we are not naked. I promise you. We both have really low-cut shirts on.
We do. We do. And I'm showing a little belly. Hashtag
You
free
are.
the belly.
You are free the belly.
But you guys can't see it in
I'm
the
free the
shot.
leg. You guys can't see that, but I am free the leg. I'm
That was such an interesting line. It was like a not like a
well, because I was
110.
like, oh, I don't actually want to show my shoe because I'm wearing not my cute shoes. I'm wearing my comfortable run to the studio shoes.
Guys, we really pull it out for the pictures on Instagram.
Oh
Let's
my
just
gosh,
say,
yeah.
From here up, glamour. From
Yeah.
here down,
Just naked.
don't want to know.
Just naked. Just
You don't
in
wanna
our
know.
underwear.
Or maybe a fuzzy slipper.
Yeah.
You never know what's happening down there.
You really don't, because we really have to run here sometimes because LA traffic
Because
is
we have
nightmarish.
lives.
It's nightmarish.
We had a life on Tuesday night, and we
had the
lived
best
it.
life Tuesday night. It was so much fun.
Oh my
Okay, first of all, I had a
gosh.
lot of feelings. You had already seen it before, so you got
Yes.
to like process your feelings. I was like in the talkback, like processing my feelings. Like I don't really know if I have anything to say. I really am feeling all the feelings right now.
My favorite is there's a series of photos.
Oh, yeah.
And like there's like one photo of the two of us, and we literally look like we were told something terrible happened.
Yeah, like,
we're
yes.
like so like
We're so
grim
somber.
and
We're
somber.
like, yeah, we're like really very
And
serious.
then the one after that is us hilarious.
I know, we're like
laughing.
hilariously laughing.
And that kind of was the day, right? That was kind of the whole
yeah, well,
event.
because I feel like that's how Fatitude is. It's like very serious, and then in comes Lindy West with all of her like levity and jokes and amazingness.
And Reagan is so funny.
oh my
in it,
gosh,
right?
Reagan is too. Yeah,
And our speaker Irene McAlphin.
Magnolia Black.
Yes, that's her. That's her
like,
burlesque name.
her burlesque
She's
name, yeah,
amazing.
she's amazing.
Literally, she hadn't seen it before.
I know. And then she
the
said like
screening.
she was watching, because I was watching going, is she in it? Kathy, please tell me she's in it, because she's like really not in it until like she has something so important to say that they saved the best for last.
And it's so like complete. It's such a
Yes.
complete monologue, and like so. Her words were like the last thing you really you leave with.
yeah.
And she was sitting in the back of the house, and she was just so adorable, and she's so profound.
She really
she was a
is.
great speaker, guys. We're gonna try to get her. She's a San Fran, no, Oakland girl.
She's in Northern California.
So
yeah.
we're gonna get her back down when she's back down. We're gonna get her here.
Yeah, we're gonna get her on the show
Because
guys,
she
because she
is
was so fun
a
and so
delight
smart
and has a whole life that's amazing too.
She has all the things going on in her life.
Yes,
which
and
is amazing.
Manon Chic with Curves was so great.
Yeah.
And hooked us up. We really
I mean,
loved
we are wearing
ourselves.
our Pretty Little Thing outfit right now.
Yes,
just like
thank
living our
you.
Pretty Little Thing
Pretty
life.
Little Things. It's Pretty Little Things, singular, which I think
Singular.
is hilarious because I think of it as the clothes, but it's like you're the pretty little thing.
Yeah.
I kind of
you're
like that POV.
You're like PYT.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole Michael Jackson thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Pretty Little Thing is just
but it was
introducing
PYT, right? Pretty young
PLT.
thing.
Yes.
Okay, so it's
PYT.
PLT.
PLT.
Repeat after me.
So dumb. Anyway.
I'm crying. I cry.
But she Manon has a great relationship with them, and they came with these amazing gift bags.
Yes,
and they have a new plus size line, and
it's
we're
so cute.
wearing it right now.
I'm wearing the cutest romper, guys.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout on Instagram
Yeah,
because
for sure. Me too.
yes,
Cute
and
little-
Kelly. Who's Kelly?
I'm gonna change my name.
Kathy is freeing the belly. I
little
mixed
bit.
Kathy and belly together. That's what it was.
I call it Kelly.
Kelly. Hashtag Kelly.
Free the Kelly.
Free the Kelly.
That's very specific.
I love it. And we were dressed from head to toe by
Fashion Nova.
Fashion Nova.
And which is not we're going to be frank. That's not like the way we would go.
No, for sure.
But Manon is like, no, live. And so we were like, okay.
I was wearing like a red hot jumpsuit with full camel toe out for the world to see. And
I had a visible belly button line. That's
you can
how
see your
tight that hot pink dress
But
was.
you looked so cute with a little ruffle. It was like so, and you were like living your 80s life with your side pony.
I doubled down. I doubled down on it. I was like, let's just do it. And that red was amazing on you.
I felt really good from the waist up. From the waist down, I was like, this is really tight.
Yeah, we have to
I know, but it's a journey. I was talking to some
Yeah.
people afterwards. Like, it's a journey. It's not like you just wake up one day and you're just like loving every inch of your body. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm uncomfortable in this, but I'm going out in it anyway.
Yeah, and I had that moment where
I mean,
was
and
like,
people were telling us, both of us, like,
Yeah.
I love your dress, I love your jumpsuit,
oh
I love what
yeah,
you're wearing.
we definitely sold clothes.
Oh, we
because we did
100%.
rock it. And I
Yeah.
also think the way you look at yourself and then what the pictures do to you,
Yeah.
which is not like the lighting we were in, not that, you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
totally.
I
Because
feel
like I feel like nobody noticed that I had a camel toe.
I did not notice until that photo.
Until the photo came out with the flash right on it. It was like, here's your camel toe for the world to see.
And I had full like Spanx revealed in one of the shots too.
Oh, I wasn't sure if that was like your vagina or not. I was like, oh, that's really
Bald?
yeah, she's really bald in there. Okay.
Nope. Just really closely colored Spanx to my white skin.
Yes.
That's all it was.
But you guys, we had such great sponsors. We had
list them. Let's do it.
Leslie Bone Photography, who we just had a photo shoot with, and
Yeah, I
was
can't wait to
brilliant.
start
We cannot wait to
releasing
show
them.
you guys. We've leaked a couple, and Tracy Taylor Makeup is going to be doing hair and makeup. And Fashion Nova did 5 $100 gift cards.
Yeah.
And the grand prize winner, I want to say her name is Miss Classy, but I didn't get that confirmed. But I'm pretty sure her name is Miss Classy. I'm gonna like.
She was
bet
one of
$50.
our Penny Lane winners.
Yeah. I was so glad that she won. So she got the photo shoot and the $200 gift card to Fashion Nova, and she's gonna get her hair and makeup done. She's gonna be living her life.
Queen for a day.
Obviously, again, Pretty Little Thing, and picks really good peanut butter, which is really
All of the text,
really good.
Wait, all the text messages I got about that peanut butter, like the day after.
I know, because you guys, if you came, you got a full jar of peanut butter, and people were like, "This is amazing.
This is the best bag.
This is the best bag ever."
Slink gave us bags.
Slink gave us back. Cam Shield gave us camera little things
I
to
gotta
block
hook mine up.
what is it called? Your
Your
webcam,
webcam.
on your whatever on your devices, so that people aren't spying on you. I'm like, I was thinking, my sister and I were talking about like, there's nothing really exciting going on at my house, but who knows what they would catch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like really like me on my computer, like like just looking terrible, having a double chin, looking crazy. Jess Baker gave a couple of her books,
New
the
book.
Land Whale.
Yeah. So cool.
Scrubs Body, Earth Friendly Products, Matt Zarley Music, Bam Pow Life, and of course the Plus Bus, who gave $10 off to everybody, which is amazing.
That is so amazing.
So generous.
Yeah.
And Penny Lane Centers, we have to thank them.
Yes, we have to thank them.
They are
because
so great.
They were so like it. Listen, they're a young crowd.
Oh yeah.
They're kids that are transitioning out of foster care, so they're in their late teens, early 20s, and that subject matter was hard for a lot of them.
It was. You could tell, like, they were uncomfortable. They were giggling. They were really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you know, the people who needed to hear it, I think, stayed.
Yeah,
and
me too.
It was really important for them.
Yeah,
to hear it.
and I think it was really great that
and I
they
think
heard
that
it.
so many people realized, like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, somebody said to me afterwards, like, oh, I didn't know that I could use the word fat. Like, I didn't realize that I could
like
use
as
that
a
word.
neutral descriptor,
Right. Like,
yeah.
he was kind of like, and I said, and you know what? It's really subjective, because you might say it to somebody like, oh, you're fat, and they might still take it as an offensive word. Whereas you just have to ask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like you ask a
Or
black
save it
person,
for
like, do I
yourself.
call you black or do I call you African American? Like, what do you
Yeah.
want me to, how do you want me to reference you?
Yeah.
And you have to ask that, because like we know a few people who, in our opinion, would be in the plus size category who don't consider themselves that.
Yeah.
And so then they definitely wouldn't want to be called fat.
Fat is an F word to some people.
Oh, 100%.
But what's interesting is even plus size is to some of our friends. And that was shocking to us.
Totally.
Yeah, but I do think that my favorite feedback was from healthcare providers and nutritionists who specialize in eating disorders. There was like a handful of them there. Like, so the community at large really came out. We had a real cross section.
Yes.
And of course, like all of Menon's crazy glamazon, amazing Instagram
influencers. Yeah, they were like just so beautiful. Just like,
guys, there literally are so many. She is so connected to, we're so like, we thought we were connected, and then we were like, oh, there's a whole group of other people we don't even know.
Yeah, we don't even know you.
But go to our stories on Instagram, because I put them all on there in the events category, and I stole them from everywhere, and you can follow all of them. They're all stunning.
Yes, they're all so brilliant.
And of course, Megan Kimberly like rocked it. We have a picture of her.
Oh my gosh,
Jarvis,
with
there's like
Marcy and Alex.
Right, there's 4 girls in a picture, Jarvis, that we are not.
No,
in.
not that one. There's another one. Oh, this one right here.
There she is.
You guys will see it now. Oh my gosh. Look at Megan with Free the Belly. And there's Mallory on the left and Alex. And then Alex and Marcy, who was the previous guest. Marcy is the owner of the Plus Bus, and Alex used to work at the Plus Bus, but she's leaving.
Yes.
And Mallory, look at Mallory rocking the Yona New York dress that she bought from our sale.
And we should say that Alex is wearing this, I mean, it was a sequin patterned.
Oh, yeah.
Proud Mary, like what is that? What are they called?
Kimono.
But shawl, whatever. We'll
she was
figure
wearing
it out.
some sort of cover up,
and it was like gorgeous color, like pattern. I couldn't even take it. And that's Jessica Hinkle who took photos.
For us.
So we just have so many people to thank, and we're gonna send you guys emails too.
We are.
We're gonna send you this
so grateful.
cut of this in an email.
Yeah, just like cut.
Thank you.
Here's so much. You guys are amazing.
And more thank yous. Like it's like a mirror. Put two mirrors together.
It's just like you're just like looking at yourself getting thanked, and you're just like constantly getting thanked.
Yes. An amazing thing happened like the day after our last show. So I think it was Friday. I get a message, and Amanda LeCount is like, guess who is dancing with her idol, the one she talked about
on our
show. I'm just saying,
this room is like a little magic room.
It's a manifesty room right here. It's a little magic room. Incant things, and then
it just like happens. We're just like,
and she's dancing with Meghan Trainor. She danced with her for the first time at the Radio Disney Awards.
Yeah,
and now she's like in Europe. She had like pictures in Paris and like a cute little stripy shirt by the Eiffel Tower.
I know, guys. Wait, hold on, time out before we go into this other hot topic. I have to tell you, there was breaking news today. Sony is making a superhero movie with a plus size actress in the lead, and it's called Faith. So Jarvis, Google plus size Faith superhero, and I'm telling you,
is it a comic already that exists?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're gonna. She's I forget who is like brought in to write the script. But they were saying like it depends if they like draw the character. But guys, does she not look like me? I mean, I don't know. Jarvis is not getting it up to work, but I'm like, let me just Google it on my phone, because honestly, I swear to God, I'm like, it's literally like me. Hold on a second.
I love that. That's fun. Throw your hat in that ring.
Right? I mean, I need a really good.
Do you remember if it was like Marvel or if it was?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull it up. Hollywood's first plus size superhero. Sony sets Maria Melnick to script pick on Valiant Comics Faith. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna try to turn this so that it doesn't get bigger on that way. I mean,
we'll get
honestly.
It. I can't see it. Oh my God!
Are we frozen? We're just frozen. But Kathy, look at this. Is this not me?
Totally.
It should just be me. I should just be cast as it. But it's probably going to be like Rebel Wilson. You know?
The video ended.
No. We're just going to keep going. Okay, we're just going to keep going, guys.
Because this is being recorded somewhere.
Somewhere it's being recorded. But I'm so excited and so it just depends on whether they like redraw the character or not. But hopefully they don't. Hopefully it's not like Amy Schumer.
Right.
Because like in all the pictures, she's like big. And she's like effervescent. Like the way that everything they describe her about, I'm like, it's me.
You're going to totally go out and buy that comic. All of a sudden, Eva's going to read comics.
I know.
She's
going to be like, what? I'm reading. Look, it's I'm drawn. But I was so excited to see that. And
so
like,
exciting.
I had so many people send it to me. Like, Eva, have you seen this? I was like, yes, I have. Like, you all are sending it to me.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
I love that was breaking news.
I know.
That like just happened.
Yeah, like on Deadline, like literally at 2:41 today.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So
good.
that's really, really exciting.
That is exciting. Another fun thing that happened, not quite breaking news, but
not quite breaking, but it is actually really important.
Oh no, yes,
It's hugely important.
No, I'm not downplaying
Tell the
it.
people. Oh no, I'm just saying.
Oh, what the next thing?
Yes.
Oh yes. We kind of take her for granted a little bit because she's been on the covers of lots of things, but now she's on the digital copy of Self magazine, and that is Tess Holliday.
Yes, and Self magazine is like a health magazine.
Yeah, and she talked a lot about health, and this is one of her quotes, which I kind of love, and this is something that we've talked about a lot. In the beginning, I used to say, I'm healthy, my cholesterol is fine, I don't have high blood pressure, I don't have diabetes, she says. But now she takes a different approach. By telling people that you see a doctor and telling people that you're healthy, it's perpetuating the abuse against bigger bodies and the mindset that we have to owe it to people to be healthy. The reality is, I don't owe you shit, and I don't have to prove that I'm healthy or not because it is nobody's business.
That's right.
And so it is, because, that, of course, is your first line of defense. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I break the mold of what you think of a unhealthy person looks like.
Right.
Like, whatever you have in your mind
right.
about a fat person being unhealthy, like, that's
right.
not true because I am. That's your first instinct, right?
And it's been our instinct. We've done we've done it to trolls. We've
But also, this idea like that you would ever say that to a thin person, like you would ever say to a group of thin person,
you would never say it to somebody who had cancer.
Yeah,
you would never say, I'm really concerned about your health, you really should start eating fruits and vegetables and exercise more.
Yeah, but you would never, but that's still assuming that we have something like cancer. I think that,
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you would never say it to somebody who actually is sick. Why don't you get healthy? Like, let's get yourself. Let's. I'm concerned about you.
Yes,
that's my point.
Yes, that's a good point.
You know,
yes, that's a good point.
So, why would you say it to somebody? Why would you assume anything about someone's health based on how they look? You literally can't.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. She's beautiful on the cover. I don't know if you guys have been able to see it, but it's so just fantastic.
Yeah, she's really beautiful on the cover.
And it's like full body shots. Like, it's not.
Oh, she's like in. Hey, I don't know what she's in. I was all I could think about was that must have been so itchy to shoot. Like, my whole body was just like scratchy.
She's in hay.
Well, she's in some sort of like brush.
Yes, she's in nature.
She's in some brush,
but she also is in only a sheer pink thing. That's like with no back, like just her back.
Oh yes. Well, that too. But in the cover, right? Oh, in the cover, she's just standing there. But on the inside, she's just in the brush, on the ground, laying in it. And I'm just like, my sensitive skin. I was like,
modeling is hard.
Whoa,
modeling is hard.
Oh, modeling is hard.
Guys, we didn't even tell you who our guest is, which really busted.
Oh my gosh, we have the best guest, and we're so excited. And so we were super fangirling, and we've been trying to get her for a while.
Yeah. Yes. And then she came to our day. Our closet sale.
Thank goodness for Rodney Toe,
connecting us to all of Asian Hollywood.
Like, you should come to this thing. And she was like, okay. And then we were like, you're coming on our show.
You probably see her at least once a week on 50 First Dates. Which is my favorite movie.
Which is like on FX like all the time.
And it's literally my favorite movie. And she's my favorite part of the movie. Also, she's been on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and Preacher.
And Mom.
Yes. All the shows.
And
The Great Indoors.
I was going to say Pretty Young Thing. That's not right. It's the line, Big Little Lies.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna ask her about everything,
just on
guys.
all the things. It's very exciting.
We really blew up when we mentioned that she was on the show. Like our Instagrammers were like,
they were like, oh
flipping
my
out.
God.
I'm very excited. So Amy Hill is here, guys. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to have her back in the hot seat when we come back. Plus this.
67% of American women are size 14 and above.
You mean they look like this?
Yeah, girl.
So then where are we in television and film?
And where are we in fashion magazines and clothing stores?
Yeah.
So we want to help out entertainment and fashion and media.
Catch the F up.
Topics get hot. We want to hear what y'all have to say.
And they will get hot.
Absolutely.
I have
True.
a question for you. It's kind of like a dirty little one. So if you had to do a love scene with somebody else famous, who would it be?
Oscar Isaac.
Love how I asked you that and you had an answer like right away.
We sang, we laughed, we cried. We
You
actually
gotta go
didn't
back.
cry.
No, we didn't cry.
We didn't cry.
Everybody should be able to be seen in, I mean, maybe not every single campaign, but let's try to include it in as many campaigns as we can.
Witchy poo, we told you.
Just putting it in the
meditate,
cauldron for
we're
you.
gonna build candles.
Yeah.
People are having sex with us. We need to show that we're like part of this society, and being sexual is part of that.
Absolutely.
So tough titty, you're fucking uncomfortable.
Watch a fat girl love herself.
Applause, applause,
But just us.
applause.
Just us.
Just us applauding.
Applauding.
Thank you.
So good.
Plus this. We are back.
We're back. We're back. We're back.
And Amy Hill is in the house. Yeah.
The crowd goes
You
wild.
are special.
You are so special.
National treasure special.
Yeah, total national treasure.
Absolutely. We are lucky.
We are.
We are lucky. It was so great to see you that day at the Plus Bus. You had never been.
Well, I'm very easy. You know,
I mean,
Rodney Toe
she's
calls.
answering that. She's letting you guys know she is easy.
I'm easy.
You come up to her, she is
Rodney Toe
spread
calls,
eagle.
who I love, and James Leo Ryan,
Yes.
both
Yes.
of them I love.
Gems.
And he says
Gems.
there's a sale
Yeah.
near my house because I live in Silver Lake, and
Okay.
that was in Glassell,
Yeah.
close.
So
Yeah, very
and
close.
on my way to another thing I was going to.
Amazing.
And it felt like the universe was telling me I have to go.
Oh,
there
there's
you
an
go.
alignment
So
happening.
I did. And there was parking right in front.
Oh,
Come
it was
on.
like, come to the set.
Exactly.
Come
Because, you know,
on.
in San Francisco, if you find parking in front of anything,
You know, you're not leaving ever.
You just park and find out why you're there.
Right.
You try to figure out why the universe said park here.
Yeah, I see how that
Because
works.
it's a spot and it says park.
Park, and you're just like, okay, I'm coming here.
Why? Am I
yeah.
supposed to eat here?
Yeah.
San
Or
Francisco
shop?
is,
very
I
hard.
love it. I mean, I haven't been back since this whole tech boom happened.
Yeah.
But I will say, my friends were always giggling at me because I lived up a hill, and the hills there are like no joke.
No, they're no joke
And I
at
was
all.
a pedestrian. I didn't have
Yeah.
a car because I was doing a gig out of town. And every time I would be walking home, calling them on the cell phone,
You'd
they
be
were
like,
like, "Can you just call me back?" Because that was happening. I sounded like a full-on porn line every time.
my God.
So
I love
you
it.
live there, and
I did.
Yeah, and
Wait, I just have to notice. Did you guys note that today they announced that if you make if you make $114,000 a year and live in San
happened?
Francisco, that you're still considered low income?
Yeah,
no,
I'm sure.
Yeah, you're considered
Yeah.
low income if you make $114,000.
Well, I don't think you can afford to even rent in San Francisco if you make 114.
no, you
You
can't.
know, they have the calculations where it's like they'll say what's your income and what your how much rent you could afford to
Right.
pay or whatever. I don't know, or buy a house. You can't buy a
no,
house.
you
for
can't.
Sure.
No.
But renting. But I own a house. I have a duplex there.
Oh, fancy.
I am
so
so-
she's just raking
I
in the
am-
money.
when are
I'm
we
paper.
visiting
I'm
you?
filthy rich.
I bet, because do you rent that out or do you Airbnb
I do,
it?
but I
Oh.
I don't do anything fancy. I rent it out to people who've been living there for 15 years, and so there's rent control.
Oh.
But I also forget to raise the rent, so
Lucky them, lucky
they
them.
pay way below market. But they're really good tenants.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So
What part of
And if they're
town is
taking
it?
care of it, then
Bernal
that's good.
Heights.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really great. When
That
I
is
bought
great.
it was
Yeah.
it was iffy. But now the whole city's
the whole city.
gentrified, so.
It
Yeah,
is a gorgeous
it is,
city.
but it is beautiful.
And you did is that where you started coming up in theater? Is that where you got
Yeah,
your theater
pretty
legs?
much. I started, I started doing theater in Seattle, which is where I was raised. And then I moved to Tokyo after high school because I wanted to get out of Seattle. And
Oh,
my
wow.
mother's Japanese and my dad's Finnish. And my dad said, you can go to Finland. And I said, and you can go to Tokyo. And I went, well, that's a little more, I can sort of imagine that. So I went to Tokyo, and it turned out that was being biracial, Japanese and Finnish, was sort of exotic to them. That was my entree into the entertainment industry. So I did a lot of radio and television. I had my own radio show. And because I had that theater background, I was very comfortable in front of audiences. And
Do you speak Japanese?
I am fluent.
Wow.
Yes, I am. But guess what? I never get to use it.
I bet not.
No. I'm always Korean, Filipino
I know.
now.
Yes.
Which is so funny because that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you. I only know about accents because of our friend Rodney Toe, Hollywood, Asian Hollywood's Rodney Toe.
Asian Hollywood's.
We have this talk about how he so rarely gets to use his Filipino accent.
Right.
But you used a Filipino accent, and you're not Filipino.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But because of theater, because I was with the Asian American Theater Company in San Francisco, and we did, only plays they were all new plays. Like David Henry Hwang sort of grew up there, and Philip Gotanda, I don't know if you know these people. I'm sure you know David.
I know
Henry
David for
Hwang.
sure, yes. I saw Soft Power and was obsessed with it.
It's very good.
I'm very excited.
But, we took our roles seriously, so we played a lot of Asian characters, immigrant characters, because all of our parents were immigrants. Most of us were, our generation. And I just done a play where I played a Filipina mom, and I researched the accent, and I had lived in Japan, and I had a lot of Filipino friends. I'd been to the Philippines. I really felt like, like I had to do a good part. So I did it, and everybody came to see the show. Huge Filipino audience came to see the show, and they'd be like, so where were you raised? And I'm like, Seattle.
Yeah. They're like, what?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were from Makati or someplace. And I'm like, no. But, I felt good that I was able to represent the culture honestly.
Yeah.
And like within a week or so after the show closed, I got a call. I was working at the theater too. Got a call from a producer, and they were looking for somebody to audition for Philippine Airlines. They wanted somebody to do the campaign, the radio campaign.
Oh.
And I just done the accent. So I said, I'll come in and audition. And I auditioned, and I got it. And I was the voice of Philippine Airlines for 6 years.
Oh,
Wow.
And those executives in the Philippines, they thought I went to this private school that they knew. Because it was a very delicate Filipino accent that I was doing. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I try to take, if I'm doing any accents, I try to take it seriously. And because I'm portraying a person. The accent's just,
a layer.
a layer.
Yeah.
Right.
But I want to do it correctly.
Right.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I want to have a real person in there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Koreans, you your like first big splashy, was it a series regular part?
Yes.
Was All American Girl
Yes.
with Margaret Cho.
Yes.
And she has such a famous relationship with her mother in
Right.
her comedy. So I would think that playing anybody in her family, like there's like a lot of like pressure on
Yes.
that. But I just want to talk about it. I just think it's so great that we have an insider on this. It's a famous, and she talked about it very openly after about how she was like gotten an eating disorder because executives were like, your face is too round, your face is too
Right.
round, lose weight.
Right.
And I was just wondering, like, being someone that I'm hoping they didn't bother you about your weight, and like, how was that? Must have been hard to watch, I guess, is my
Well, they didn't do it in public. They never did it in front of me. I knew that she was dieting. I knew that she was dieting, and she was not eating pretty much anything but like steamed vegetables, and she talked about blood in her urine and a lot of things
my
that were
goodness.
but I didn't know that she was being forced to do that by executives. I thought that she had been doing it to herself because she was 26.
Yeah, and who wasn't
right.
doing it? So who doesn't?
Yeah, and
at
a lot of
26
people,
either?
you're in Hollywood, you see people, changing. I was lucky that I had an agent because I was thinking, maybe I need to change my name or all kinds of crazy stuff. And he'd be like, no, you don't have to do anything. And I went, okay, are you sure? But I'm glad also that I was in San Francisco for my delicate years, like the 20s and early 30s.
Yeah.
Because it was theater and there wasn't a lot of pressure to be anything but who you were. So when I moved to LA, there was a moment where I thought maybe I need to lose weight or do something different, but nobody told me to, so I was fine. And then I was on All American Girl, and I was probably 240 pounds, and I was playing 65, and I was
And you were
40.
40.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah, which is also
And that
a
was
great
where I
Hollywood.
had a,
Yeah.
and I had no problem because I always felt like, even in high school when I was thin, I was a character actor. I've always been a character actor.
Right.
So, I never even thought about, I just thought, what a great part playing the grandma.
Yeah.
And a lot of the younger people who are my age were like, oh, Amy, no. And I thought, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it was a breakthrough role but then for a long time, everybody would call me in for grandma parts. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, I'm not grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, my favorite part of your reel, which of course we both watched,
Right.
is the part where you're like, I'm assuming a sassy lawyer of some kind, where you're like real serious and you're like, give me a break. That's actually my favorite clip. I forget what it's from. But like when you had the part that didn't require an accent, was that a threshold for you too? In LA, here in LA?
Well, it's interesting because I'm biracial and I identify Japanese, and I speak Japanese. I would go in on parts, and a white casting person would be looking at me, going, "Well, you don't look Japanese," and I'd be in my head saying, "Well, I lived in Japan for 8 years, and people would ask why I spoke English so well. So maybe I look Japanese to some people,
Right,
but not
right.
to you."
Yeah.
So it's like, being multiracial, you always feel like and if it could be African American, biracial actors who don't feel like they're, a lot of times they get the same thing. Latinos, any people of color, whoever's looking at them, they get you don't look black.
Yeah, or you're
Right,
not
yeah.
enough.
Look white,
or you're
you
not
don't
black
act
enough.
this, you
or
don't
not
act,
Asian
and
enough.
it's like, looking.
Yeah.
And with age comes the wisdom to know, I don't care what you say or what you think, this is how I identify.
Right.
And, cast me or don't cast me, whatever.
Yeah.
But, so, I couldn't get anything with an accent for a while.
Oh,
Then,
I
I got
see.
All American Girl. But I felt like it was Margaret who championed me because, she loved me. I loved her.
Yeah.
When it's
But,
right, it's right.
both of us were in sketch comedy. I'd been doing my mother for a long time. So I was very confident in having created a mother character, a grandmother-like character.
Okay.
So I felt like I was creating a person who I just had to shift the accent a little bit because Korean is similar to Japanese, but not quite. It's a little more, and the personality is a little more fiery.
Yeah, fiery
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
than the Japanese. But, I created a character for her, and Margaret really believed in the character.
I love it.
So that was
I
good.
love it.
And then afterwards, it was like there was a sort of political correctness that came into play where I would want to do a character with an accent, and they'd say, "Ooh, don't do it. No accents."
Interesting.
Oh.
And I'd be like, "Well, she's an immigrant from Vietnam."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, okay. She
I
just,
can do it without an accent.
She's real
Yeah.
fierce at English.
She just
Yeah.
really
She's
learned
studied
English
hard.
very well.
She's good. I mean, it's possible. I
Yeah.
could justify anything.
Yeah.
For sure.
But everybody was skittish around accents for a while.
Yeah.
So, and that was kind of, because I felt, and I did a whole solo show that was my mother's story, and I did it as my mother, speaking to an audience of English speakers. So, like if people came into her living room, she'd be speaking with an accent. It was a very specific accent because she learned she learned English on the go. She didn't learn it from a book.
Right.
Okay.
So, her accent came from hearing
Yeah.
English,
Right.
not studying English.
Right.
Is that Tokyo Bound?
No,
That's a whole
called,
other show.
That's called Reunion. So I did the show, and I remember Asian actors coming to the show and saying, I think it'd be more powerful if you didn't use an accent. And I thought, wow, because there's a lot of self-hate.
Yeah, because it's funny because I recently had to do an audition for a deaf character, which was a whole other thing. But because my parents are deaf and I'm fluent, so I did the accent in like exactly how my mom sounds,
Right.
and like I did it for somebody, and they were like, "You don't sound deaf. You just sound like normal." And I was like, "Well, it's not normal. I mean, that's just my mom is deaf. That's
Right.
what my mom sounds like." But it's interesting how people's like perception
Yes.
of what
A deaf
like
person talks like.
or like what an accent should be, or like
Yeah.
if you should or shouldn't have an accent.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I don't feel like an accent. Like I always remember there's a line in a movie that I love so much. I can't think of what it is. That's like Keanu Reeves and maybe it's like Walking on Clouds or something. But anyway, he says the father-in-law is I want to say like he's from another country. Anyway, he's talking to Keanu Reeves, and he says to Keanu Reeves, and he's very heavily accented. Just because I talk with an accent doesn't mean I think with an accent.
Right.
And I was like, that is so brilliant. Like I always forget when somebody's like learning English. I'm like, they're not thinking in an accent. They're thinking in their language, and like they're probably so frustrated that they can't say the words.
Well, that was what was profound about Tokyo Bound. Tokyo Bound it started as a show just about talking, my experience. I knew that being in Tokyo was life-changing. And I thought to myself, as I was writing it, that it was just going to be my experiences there and how tough it was, stranger in a strange land, even though it's, my mother was from there. But I realized as I was writing it that my mother had thought about the importance of it, because by the time, at some point, I learned Japanese, I learned to read and write. She wrote me a letter. And the letter, the first time I was able to read her writing, it was like, who is this?
Wow.
It's like I never knew the woman who wrote this letter.
In Japanese.
Wow.
In Japanese. Suddenly, this woman who I used to make fun of when I was little, and I thought wasn't so smart, who was a little...
Amy, you're going
Great.
to
I know.
totally make me cry.
Well, yeah, so the letter was like, my beloved Amy in Japanese. And she went on about the weather, and she was so poetic and beautiful. And at the end of the letter, it was, it was just like, who is this?
Wow.
So in Reunion, I was trying to evoke the person. So, and I hope that I think I did a good job, that the accent was only part of who she was.
Right.
That in the show, it talked about her experiences in Japan, meeting my dad, all the struggles she had. And she never was embarrassed about her accent. She was never embarrassed about being, I grew up with her saying, made in Japan? Oh, then good. Japanese best. So, and I'd be like, yeah, Mom, yeah, right. But, she was the head cook in a hospital kitchen that was full of immigrants. Wow. So you go in there, she's got an accent, everybody in that place got an accent. They're from East Europe, European, Mexicans. I mean, it was like, and I thought, how do you guys understand each other?
But they do.
But they do.
But they do.
And that accent is non-existent for them.
For sure.
Because within a few moments, and it happens, I think, with everybody. I mean, the first time you see somebody, is missing an arm, like right away, you're like, oh, doesn't have an arm.
Yeah.
And right after moments, you don't even notice that.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody with an accent, you see the person.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a normal human
It takes
being.
like it takes like
It takes a second,
for you to adjust, but then you get in.
But you get in and you don't see any of that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
and then people are always like apologizing, like, I'm sorry, my English. And I'm like, your English is amazing. I understand everything you're saying.
Yeah.
You're totally fine. So
Let me
you
try
just-
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try talking in Urdu.
Yeah.
See if you can understand me.
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
I was in Morocco and I was having a heck of a time.
I'm sure. I get so frustrated when I went to Mexico and I was like trying to talk to these people and I'm like, I'm so frustrated. Like I know the word when you say it, but if I try to say it, I can't think of it. Like I'm so frustrated.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine how frustrated. I mean, I'm sure they're frustrated. Like I want to tell you this and I can't.
Right.
For sure. We have to take a really quick
Very
break.
small break.
But then we're going to come back and talk about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
All right.
If you'll indulge us. All right, we'll be back. Plus this.
Good, then I can sneeze.
Plus this.
Promotional consideration brought to you by Melissa Massey. Custom clothing isn't exclusively for the rich and famous. Melissa Massey is custom-made clothing for everyday wear. A unique combination of custom tailoring and deluxe fabrics that is well made and fit for every size and frame. Made in LA, sold in LA, and online at melissamassey.com. It's not the natural beauty products in your life, but the life in your natural beauty products. Linda Kammen's Aromatherapy Salon, lindakamens.com, for happier, healthier living. Promotional consideration provided by Scrubs Body, a woman-owned business with scrubs so natural they're good for your public parts and your private parts. Scrubsbody.com.
Plus this.
She could wear a t-shirt.
We're back, guys. We're back.
Talking about Amy's daughter.
We're talking about
Who
and
shops
shopping.
at
Don't
Fashion
tell
Nova.
anybody.
Who loves to shop at Fashion Nova.
Yes, she loves fashion.
You were just mentioning she's got a body for it. Now let me ask you: have you always had a curvy body?
Yeah. I say yes. I have had a curvy body, varying degrees of curvy. I mean, I think when I lived in Japan, because it's interesting that when I was there, because I walked 500 miles a day,
Right.
and ate tiny little pieces of food, and it's
Exactly
really,
why I don't want to go there, Amy.
no.
I'm like, it sounds
And
amazing.
it's really,
I want to go.
It's really bad form to eat on the street. Like you
Oh.
can't walk and eat. You have to eat in restaurants or in a house or something like. So street eating is bad, which is something we do here. Like you're eating French fries, ice cream.
Yeah,
cones,
yeah,
and
you're
all
just
that.
like,
You
whatever.
don't do that there.
all the time.
So, but I think mostly the walking. I just just lost weight.
Yeah, when you were there.
So I was like maybe the thinnest there was like 135 pounds.
Yeah.
Do you use the F word?
Fat.
Yeah.
It's interesting. When I was in Morocco, there was some larger women, and I was trying stuff on, and I said, if CA got this, then it should fit me. She's a big girl, and the people around me they were thin, were like, oh my God. And I'm thinking, well, what? I'm big. She's big. Is that a bad thing? Did I say something bad?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is she pretending to be thin? I don't know.
There are closeted fat people.
Oh, totally.
everywhere. They just don't want to admit
I mean,
it.
I remember.
That's like a thing.
No, it is a real thing.
See, I don't know that thing because I accept me. I accept my age. Because if I say I'm 65, people are like, oh,
No, we gagged
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
said it earlier.
yeah.
We were playing it very cool.
I know I was kind of like,
I don't
how
have
is
an
that
issue
even
with it.
possible?
When I say I'm old, I'm not saying I'm old and gonna die any minute.
Right.
I'm 65 and I'm happy to be 65 and I feel healthy.
right.
And I move well. I don't, I feel like a vibrant 65.
For sure.
But I don't care if people go, oh my God. But there are women who are still pretending to be like, what?
Oh, yeah. Like they're just like, oh, I'm perpetually 29. I'm still 29.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
To
crazy.
me. And also, I'm happy to say, that I'm fat. I don't say fat. I'll probably say I'm a big girl.
Okay.
I'm a deluxe size. I don't know.
Deluxe,
People don't ask me.
supersize.
But do they
I'm
like?
supersized.
Would you
I'm
say that
plus.
Yeah. Would you say plus size?
I would say plus size.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue around, but I don't have a language.
But there's
for
so
it.
many. There's so
I
many
don't
people that do. That's
identify.
why frequently we ask our guests. Like, do you? I ask. Let me just say. I want to know if do you use the do you say that you're fat because has such a stigma around that
Yeah.
word, specifically fat.
Right.
Yeah. It's nice to use it without feeling the sting, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's been nice. It
Yeah, I
does.
haven't
People
used it.
say, "Oh, it's empowering, it's empowering." And at first you're like, and then all of a sudden something
I mean, is that
clicks.
Yeah.
the current word to identify?
Because it really just is a descriptor. So, when people have said to me, like before, I would be like really, before we started the show, certainly if somebody called me fat, I would have been like, oh
Yeah.
my God, they're so mean. But now I'd be like, oh yeah, and I'm blonde and I have blue eyes and you have eyes. Great. Thank you for
Yeah.
noticing.
I guess the word when I hear fat, I think of the fat part of meat.
Interesting. Or
So
Oprah
or
reeling out
a big
wheelbarrow.
thing of fat.
Right, yeah.
So I just think of gelatinous, kind of yellow.
Right. Well,
corpulent
I think about
stuff.
on
But I don't
Fatitude.
see it as the body.
Right. Well, on Fatitude, they said that you call somebody who's fat, you would say that they're overweight, but
Oh,
you
I
wouldn't
don't
say
say
to
that.
somebody.
I
You
don't
wouldn't
like
say.
overweight.
I don't like overweight
Isn't that
either.
weird? I
Because
don't like overweight.
it implies that there's a
There's
correct
a weight
weight
that you're supposed
right.
to be.
Yeah,
because we don't
me
say
too.
you're over tall
No.
or
I say
or,
I'm my weight.
or
Yeah.
under height.
Yeah,
My
that was a
body
great
just wants to
point.
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Like, because
body
I
just
don't
wants to be here.
even, I mean, I eat all day long, but little bits and pieces here and there. I mean, I just eat.
Like
But
you're
I
like a
eat-
snacker?
But I usually eat pretty healthy, and I just don't think about it. But I move. I walk around the reservoir every day. I mean, it's like I don't.
That's a
just like
beautiful
she
walk.
said, you don't have to justify to anybody how healthy you are and not
No,
healthy.
no,
which
you
is
absolutely-
great.
yeah.
But this is
Naughty old
something
baby.
I think
Yeah.
about because I'm 65 now, so I'm thinking, I want to live for a lot longer.
Sure.
But my mother, she lived till she was 94. So I think I've got a long way to go.
Yes.
You're like, am I on the Japanese side? Am I on the Finnish side?
The Finnish side. Well, my dad died in a car accident.
Oh, so you don't know.
how
Oh my
long.
gosh.
But that side of the family's pretty long lived too.
Yeah.
That's great.
So-
yes, for the
You got
And
the
they were
best.
not-
You got the best
But
genes.
nobody thought about these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my mother thought about healthy eating because she's Japanese.
Right.
Weird. So she was always eating some kind of crazy food but, I think that's what you want to care about is just being healthy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a healthy weight necessarily.
No.
No, there's not, and it's different for different people.
And every body is just a little different. Just
Yeah.
like animals out there in the
wild.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's bigger animals
That's
and
exactly-
tiny skin. Like my dog is skinny.
Yes,
and
yeah.
I'm sure they go, wow, your dog's so skinny. Why do you think it's strange that I would have a thin dog?
Eve Ensler
I'm
has
trying to make that dog eat more.
Eve Ensler has a great play where she meets a woman in Africa who is and it's everybody is,
Right.
Everybody is good or something like that.
Right.
I forget what it's called. Maybe it's the good body. Now that I'm thinking of it, I'm sorry, I'm taking too long to tell the story. But this woman's in Africa, and Eve is there, grimacing and talking about her body, and she reads her, and she's like, "You would not say that this tree is ugly because it's trunk is big,
Or it's gnarled, or
this
whatever,
one-
yeah.
or that this thin tree over here is better or more
Right.
beautiful. They're everyone's. She's like, find your tree.
I
And
love
always
it.
think
I
of
love
that
it.
when
That
I get
is
crazy.
true.
Yeah.
Just find your tree.
Yeah, and I was really conscious of my daughter. She's adopted. So, who knew? I don't know what her body's going to be. But now she's got a great little body, but she doesn't think about it, which is important to me, that she
Right.
doesn't, I care that she doesn't eat only Fritos
Right.
and soda only 'cause. But I don't care about her, the size she is. I just care about how healthy she is. But she's also a teenager, so
Yeah, it's hard
hopefully
to get
she'll
But it's
move
hard.
out of that.
Yeah.
for sure. I'm going to talk
Okay,
about
we're-
Crazy Ex-Girlfriends.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because we
I
promised
forgot.
people.
Because you were so hilarious. Okay, first of all, there's a whole scene where you have a grill.
That's right. That was a good one.
That was so hilarious. I was like, this is amazing. I want more of just this.
It was the best.
Just Amy in her grill. Like
I was
Can
so
we
happy
get you
because
to
that
play
was
that character somewhere else? Can we like take
Yes.
you out of that
Oh,
and just
happily.
put her
Oh,
somewhere?
I'll do that.
oh my gosh,
yeah.
so brilliant.
We'll find a place for
And
you.
we had friend of the show, Donna Lynn Champlin, on here
Oh,
too.
yes.
You know, when I
So-
got on that show, I can't tell you how many of my friends in New York were like, "Oh my God, Donna's on that show."
She is beloved.
I never
Yeah.
met
Yeah.
her, you know, because I don't live in New York. I
Right.
don't follow. I don't know what's going on. But she is so down to earth.
She
so-
is.
You would never know that woman is that talented just by seeing her at the
Ralph's.
Target,
Yeah.
right.
which
right.
she'd be at.
Right.
Because she's got the husband and the kid and
Yeah.
then just the normal life. And she,
I feel like if I saw her at Target, I wouldn't recognize her because
no,
she's
'cause
so.
she doesn't wear makeup.
Yeah, she's just
like,
so- yeah.
unbelievably normal.
Yes.
So
And an unbelievable hoofer.
she
Like,
is
incredible
just
tap
the most
dancer.
talented
Yeah.
person.
I was like, what does
ever.
that mean? Please speak in
Sorry,
like layman terms.
Yeah.
Eva doesn't know anything about musical theater, Amy, so I'm constantly having to describe verbiage
She
that I use.
is-
But she's an
Yeah.
amazing tap dancer. My friend Jason did a tour of I'm not going to remember what it is right now. I want to say it begins with a J. Talk about getting older. This happens
yeah,
all the time.
uh-huh.
Just no
I
synapses.
get it.
But she was like the Ruby Keeler part
Right.
of that show. Not Ruby Keeler, and she was like an unbelievable tap dancer. Jason would call me from rehearsals and be like, "This woman is the most unbelievably talented person I've ever met in my
And
life."
she's
yeah.
just so. I just
Yeah.
love her so much, and I understand why everybody just loves her so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I don't spend that much time with her, but whenever I get a chance to even walk around, like she's leaving the set and I'm all coming in, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. And again,
Yeah.
seeing the two of you in that scene and Rachel, quite honestly,
Yeah.
like no one being a size 0,
No.
no
Right.
one being a size 2, no one being a size 4.
No.
Like it was really amazing.
Yeah.
there
It
are
just-
real people on that show.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like they
I love
just
it.
cast real people.
I love it so much, and that is Felicia Fasano, who
Yes.
is the most
She's
amazing casting
another-
director.
yeah, she's
Yeah,
great.
we're champions of
Yeah.
everyone involved with that. We just
Yeah.
need we need the Holy Grail. We
Yeah.
just need Rachel on here.
Oh,
Yes.
And we'll be
she's
done.
on? You
Yeah,
know,
will you
she
get her to come on?
Can you,
doesn't
can you
feel-
just connect us to her?
Can we
Sure.
all
Can
just
you make
like,
that
hang
happen?
out? Can we
Yeah.
just
Just
hang
make that
out?
happen?
All right.
We just want to like treat her to a drink. If she drinks, I don't
Yeah.
know. She might not
She
drink.
might
We
not.
should
She
do something
drinks.
else.
She does all of it.
Yeah.
She does all
well,
of it.
very well.
Yeah.
And another great person.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like that set was different because so many women are involved in it?
So many women who are just, they're wise beyond their years. I'd worked with her partner in crime.
Oh, yes. Whose name I'm not remembering.
I'm in trouble. I'm with you now.
okay, I'm sorry.
that place.
I sucked you down into my hole.
Yeah. She was had worked on All American Girl many millions of years ago.
Oh,
And
amazing.
the two of them, they're the partners that created the show. And they are just wise and loving and kind and smart and follow their heart. As even when they're writing, they're following their heart.
Awesome.
It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Is her
And
name
they-
Alice?
No. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? Anyway,
Alina?
no.
I'm like, it's on the
It's
screen.
not
I
even
can see
getting
it.
Better.
yeah.
Oh, you can see it?
Al-
Oh, no. Yeah. Aileen Brosh McKenna.
Okay.
There it is.
I'm like, I can't see that far. I can see that it starts with an A.
Aileen.
Thank you for saving the day, Jarvis.
Jarvis. Thank you.
Oh, God. So, yeah. So, you know, and when I got the part, they, the writer called and said, oh, he wanted to talk to me. And I was like, oh, my God, what's he going to say? And he called and said, can you do a Filipino accent? I was like, oh,
Can I
Did you go rehearse with Rodney Toe? Where you're like, Rodney,
no, you
help me
know,
with
I
my
rehearsed
accent.
with him. I have other people, Alec
Yeah.
Mapa. I have
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of Filipino
Yeah,
accents.
yeah.
So I
Mapa,
called
Luigi.
Alec Mapa first.
Okay.
And, you know, he helped me in the beginning, and then I'm surrounded by Filipinos on
Okay.
the show.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing anything wrong, well, they step in.
Oh, they're like,
Yeah,
no,
they
no,
do.
take
You
it
know
again,
what?
take it again. You said
You
it
know
wrong,
what?
girl.
Yeah.
You said it
They help
wrong,
me
girl.
out. They help me out.
It's so funny.
That's so great.
Well, I was gonna talk about this hot topic, but I feel like we covered it.
What's the
Oh, yeah.
Hot topic. I
body
mean,
positivity?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's this, body positivity has sort of become this catchphrase, right? Instead of fat acceptance, people feel more comfortable, let's be honest, with
Right.
body positivity.
Right.
And it does sort of reach across that plus
I think that
size,
because
normal
but it
size,
also
not normal
I
size,
think
straight
that
size,
body
whatever.
positivity also includes people who are thin who also are struggling with their own body image too.
They're ashamed too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel-
I
I always
think
catch
women in
myself
general.
say, because I think it's okay, but I'll start to think, God, you're so skinny. You're so skinny. Are you eating? That's
yeah.
really rude.
I know. There was a girl that we did a photo shoot with that I was like, girl, like you need a
need a
sandwich.
hamburger.
Like,
Yeah.
please eat something.
And
like,
then you realize,
like I can
wait a
see
minute,
your.
you don't want
I can
anybody
see-
coming
yeah.
up to you.
You
Maybe you
say
shouldn't eat
things.
that cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
So it
Which
is
I'd be
the
like,
same
here,
thing.
I'm eating it.
Yeah.
I'd be like extra
It
mad.
is kind of the same thing.
It
But,
is.
but I do think
So, I
that
understand.
the part of that problem is that people will welcome people who look like that and say, "Oh,
Yes.
you're snatched," or
Right. Yeah,
you're
"Oh my
so-
God,
look how
girl,
thin
you've
you
never,
are."
you've
Right.
oh
You've
my
never
God,
looked better.
Yeah, you're at that weight that everyone wishes. You're sitting down and still thin. You have no.
You have no rolls.
Yeah.
When you sit.
So
I love it. Sitting down and still thin.
yes, it's like the hardest thing for women to accomplish ever. But that's whatever.
But that's what Photoshop's for, right?
Oh my God.
No, but I do think body positivity started as a movement for fat people. So I think
Yes.
that there are people feeling very sensitive about it. And this writer who was in it's Metro, and it's a UK blog, and I think in the UK also they're having conversations on like a totally different level than us. But she's size 12, and she's like, I feel like I'm not a thin model, but I'm also like, no one has ever fat shaming me on the street. Like, I don't have to, someone doesn't say to me, oh, you should buy 2 seats on an airplane. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, my struggle is not the same. So
Right.
she feels like, because like industry has sort of usurped it, she's like, I'm just not going to use it anymore because I feel like people want to sell things with it, and that's part of it. It's like then people are using it as a hook instead of having authenticity.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
listen, it's all. This is what activism is about. Like, stuff like that
Yeah.
happens as it catches on.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
that's always going to happen.
Well,
so
it's,
we'll
I mean, I
reinvent.
feel like for me, it hasn't been an issue. I mean, I think it has been an issue, but nobody said it out loud to me. I have no idea, because in like theater reviews or any of the things that have been written about me, nobody goes, that fat lady.
I have to say, I did read one that called you plump, and I
Really?
was, and I was mad at them.
She's like,
I was mad at them.
that.
It was LA. It was a surprise. It was the
That's
LA
great.
Times.
LA
It was when you first did it in like 1991. Because when I first started Googling them,
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, let me see things that
that's
they
good.
said.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't mind.
Yeah, you
No.
obviously weren't affected by it.
Because, no, it wasn't I didn't affect.
By the way, I had a review once. It was a terrible review of a terrible show I did in New Jersey, and they said that my voice didn't match my big mama looks.
Wow.
And it was like a punch gut, more because
I mean, you can laugh about it now,
everything
but like,
more about my voice though than about my body, because I was like, bitch, every key was too low for me and we weren't mic'd over the band. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, so mad. But no, that was like the first time I was fat shamed
Wow.
publicly. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I
still
haven't
Google that.
been fat shamed publicly in my mind. Isn't that the best way?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I know that I've always made a conscious decision not to do something that's just a visual.
right.
Like if they send a script and say, oh, this part was written for you, then if there's nothing there except for a visual, like
Yeah, you're
this
not
giant, no, I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
good
it
for
doesn't
you.
require any acting.
Yeah.
But because I feel like a lot of actors, especially in the beginning of their career, they don't want to say no. They just want to work, and they'll take whatever comes their way, even if it is degrading or if it is,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
I
sad.
know we
It's
have to
the
end.
end of
Wait,
our show.
I want to tell our people.
Yes.
Tokyo Bound is available at amyhillactor.com.
Yes.
You literally for $1, guys, can see this legend.
99 cents.
99 cents.
not even
not
a
even
dollar.
a dollar.
There's a link to download it.
Yes.
And where else can people follow you and see
Oh,
what
they
you're
can
up
see.
to?
There's a calendar on there too on Amy
yeah,
Hill.
you have us
great.
on there. I saw
then-
it.
but
You just wasn't on there.
AmyHillActor.com because I'm not good that way.
Oh, and you are on
But
Twitter?
I'm gonna. All of it's Amy Hill Actor.
Amy Hill Actor.
on Twitter, Amy Hill Actor on Facebook, Amy Hill Actor on
Instagram.
Instagram, Amy Hill Actor on
all the things.
All the things.
All
She's
the
fine.
things. She has
Yeah.
Amy Hill
because there's
Actor,
some
amazing.
Amy Hill out there that's not an actor.
Yeah,
She's lovely, I'm sure.
I'm sure. but how dare she have your name?
Yeah.
Now you told me about something that was happening that you wanted people to know about. Remember, we were in the green room, and you were like, "Oh, that's coming up. I could talk about that." Do you remember?
No.
No, that's okay.
Okay, that's
Oh, yeah. Great Leap was this this sort of a grassroots performance art thing that I was involved with in the 90s, and they're doing sort of a performance retrospective July 8th at Senshin Buddhist Temple.
Oh wow!
So if they just go to
so cool.
senshinbuddhisttemple.com, or I don't know,
just
Yeah,
Google
or
it.
Google you.
Google
Google it.
Senshin.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Or look at your calendar. Is it on your
Yeah,
calendar?
maybe I'll put it on my
Maybe
calendar.
There you go.
And I am singing with our former guest, Our Lady J, this Saturday night at the Wallace Theater at 7 o'clock. I would love to see you guys there if you wanted to come.
And I am going to go kayaking this weekend with my family.
Nice.
Really busy. Thank you so much
You're
for being
welcome.
here.
Thank you for coming.
We
Will you
really
come on
appreciate
again
you.
sometime?
Oh, sure.
Awesome sauce.
Yay.
We'll have
I
her back.
love it.
Guys, we'll see you here. Next week we have Trina.
Trina Dong
Trina
is going
Dong
to be
is
back.
coming back. We'll
We're
see
going to
you
talk.
here.
We're going to see you next week.
Plus
Love you guys.
this. Bye.